I suppose that's the point with mistakes, isn't it? We can't undo them. There's no going back. There's no bringing back the dead. They're gone forever. But we can learn from mistakes.
I think Dr. Pankania, what you're saying, and I remember it so well because we were on air, you know, talking every single day during before the lockdown, throughout the pandemic. And you're absolutely right. This isn't hindsight, actually. These are things you were saying, your colleagues were saying, Dr. Hillary was saying every single day. It's too late. Why aren't you getting testing in place? Why aren't you getting PPE in place? Why are you sending people back to care homes? Every single viewer will be able to hear your anger about the fact that this isn't a committee which has basically said, oh, well, you know, we should have done things better. These were things people like you were saying ahead of time that the government could have put into place. And I think what's so heartbreaking, Dr. Pankania, is that there will be people who are living with the consequences of every single one of those mistakes. From a family member who's lost a loved one to somebody, you know, we have on our programme, Kate Garraway, who's living with her husband with the devastating effects of long COVID. And then individuals like yourself who are devastated by the fact you couldn't do what you knew you should have done to help. And I think the consequences of those mistakes are just devastating, aren't they?
I am so upset and angry that people say, yes, you're talking in hindsight. This is not hindsight, because as you very correctly articulated, we were saying these things. And the other big elephant in the room, which was not addressed for a very long time, is this is aerosol spread. So Prime Minister Johnson hated the idea of masks. So the delay, the dither about addressing it as this is aerosol spread, wear your mask, wear it properly, came in so late. And we could save many lives if only we had acted early, hard, fast, and looked at the evidence. This is aerosol spread, wear your mask, wear it properly.
Well, you mentioned Boris Johnson's resistance to masks, and obviously we know he had, and still in many ways has, resistance to lockdown. So it seems to be narrowing down to him, doesn't it? Are you saying really this catastrophe at the beginning of the epidemic was down to the politics of the personality of one man and his wishes?
There's a lot of the personality bit at play, but at the same time, I feel the constitution of SAGE needs to be looked at, because as I mentioned, it wasn't extensively made up of people who do the job every day. There were a lot of academics, a lot of mathematical modelers in the place, but not people who get their hands dirty, the shoe leather epidemiologists like myself, who know what it looks like out there every day. So it is a combination of both. But I do agree that we found Prime Minister Johnson was very reluctant to go into shutdown, very reluctant to, control this. He used that expression, take it on the chin, on your program. And I felt, how can you take this on the chin? Because people will die if you take it on the chin. People get infected, people die.
There's another major factor here which none of us have yet discussed, which is the lack of trust in government and lack of trust in science.